Console Valorant has been out for a little less than a month now, and I honestly couldn't be more in love with the game. Now that they released the competitive mode, a lot of people are grinding for that Radiant rank or whatever rank they have in mind. Since it is a beta and since it is console, some people who are hopping into ranked have never played the game before and don't have an idea on how to properly rank up. This also actually can apply to people who have played the game before, but I'm not judging personally because I've been there. Now, in this video, I want to give you guys the essential steps it takes to properly begin a journey to whatever rank it is you want, whether that is Ascendant, Immortal, Radiant, or even just one rank above, whatever it is you are at right now. I have personally used all of these steps in my games to reach Radiant, and I promise that these are all effective. Let's begin with the first and most important step: play to get better. Now, this can be really difficult at first because competitive games on Valorant can take a long time, and a loss can feel really detrimental, but hear me out. For all of my newer viewers, I was previously the best console Overwatch player and have been semi-professional on PC as well. Early in my gaming quote-unquote career, on console and PC, there was moments where I felt like I was so bad because I kept losing and losing, and I kept placing my value and skill on my wins and losses and my rank too. If I lost a game, I would beat myself up about it and then get off and not queue ranked for a while because I was scared to lose again. However, one day I decided that I was done being scared and queued up just to get better. Now, I still cared about my rank slightly, but the goal was to just play the game and simply play, no matter the win or loss. I was grinding my mechanics and analyzing my own gameplay, which I will get to later in this video. For now, what I am trying to say is to not worry too much about your rank, but to rather play with the mindset of getting better. Let's move on to another important step: mastering agents. Before we get into this though, let's talk about how team comps are developed depending on the rank you are in. In the lower ranks, honestly, team comp isn't the most important because most of the time you can just out-frag people, especially on console right now because a lot of lower ranked players have actually never touched this game. So, as an unofficial side tip, if you are lower ranks, try to insta-lock your best agent and do what I said in my last tip, but you didn't hear that from me. Anyway, moving on, in the higher ranks, team comps are crucial. Now you might hear people say that you need to master one of each role so that if you need to flex you can, but let's dive a little deeper into that. A lot of players love to insta-lock and play the fun duelist agents with reason. Playing Cypher and sitting on a site waiting 5 rounds for a team to push you can be fun for some people, but others find that a little too boring. Agents like Reyna and Jett fall into a lot more playstyles. However, it is crucial that you know an agent in each role that you have fun on and don't mind flexing to. What I mean by this is having a clove for each role, which is something that I personally do. Valorant released their newest agent clove in the controller section, meaning that they are responsible for the smokes of their team. What is very funny about Clove is that they are obviously catered to the duelist players who are forced on smoke. This agent is unironically more fun than most duelists and provides amazing utility even while dead. When I say having a Clove in each role, you need to have an agent that is not only fun to play, but also provides the necessary utility for your team. Now, the Clove for this role would be Gecko for me personally. Others can enjoy Fade, but for me, Gecko is not only insanely good with all of his utility, but is also just really fun. Now, let's face it, Sentinel can be pretty boring, but for me, Cypher is the funnest even though it can get a little stale. But thankfully, I'm not forced on it too often, but you still need to have an agent that you're ready to play if it really does come to that. Now, let's move on to the next step, which I mentioned earlier: analyzing your gameplay. Now, since the game is on console, we really don't have access to those auto-recording gameplay features that people can download on PC. Yeah, both Xbox and PlayStation can record clips, but that's not really that helpful when it comes to watching previous games because you can't just clip the entire game. Riot could add a replay mechanic, but we all know that's probably not gonna happen. When I say analyzing your gameplay, what I mean by this is that I want you to focus on your death. In between deaths, usually, you'll have like 30 seconds to a minute before the next round. I know a lot of people love to get on their phone or just blast TikToks into their mic while their buddy tries to clutch, but if you want to genuinely get better, you have to ask yourself 2 questions. Why did I die, and what could I have done differently? Now, sometimes you can just simply get out-aimed, but even in situations like that, there is a lot that can be changed. For example, let's say you take a mid-fight on Sunset and you get out-aimed. Now, obviously you got out-aimed, but let's see what you can do to avoid this. One example could be, next round, you can try and ask your controller player to smoke mid next round, so that if you want to walk up and take market, you don't have to out-aim the player holding mid. Now, this is a pretty simple example, but situations like this happen a lot in game. It is crucial that you learn from yourself and be your harshest critic. You can have other people tell you what to do and you can learn from coaches, but at the end of the day, it is all up to you. If you really want to get better, you have to keep asking yourself questions and force away any bad habits that you were creating while playing.